ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भीषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरेन्द्रगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं। परित्यज्य मौनं वटाधस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशं मधुस्यन्ति वाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गे नयन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्भाति चित्ते। नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्य विजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गानु नेतारं सन्मतिप्रदं सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिविरावृतां मयूकैः अहं इत्येव विभावये भवानीं। श्रीपरदेवतायै नमः। श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुकोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणी कणत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकळङ्गाभमृगनाभिविशेषका वदनस्मरमाङ्गल्यग्रहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मीपरीवाह चलन्मीनाभलोचना नवचम्पकपुष्पाभनासा दण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारी नासाभरणभासुरा कदम्बमञ्जरी क्लुप्तकर्णपूरमनोहरा ताटङ्कयुगलीभूततपनोडुपमण्डला पद्मरागशिलादर्शपरिभाविकपोलभूः नवविद्रुमबिम्बश्रीन्यक्तारीरदनच्छदा शुद्धविद्याङ्कुराकारद्विजपङ्क्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोदसमाकर्षि निजसल्लापमाधुर्य विनिर्भक्तितकच्चपी मन्दस्मितप्रभापूर मज्जत्कामेशमानसा. Up unto this shloka, the Vagdevis are explaining the Sthula Swarupam of Ambal. In Lalita Sahasranamam, different Swarupams of Ambals are being explained in detail. The first and foremost of all that is the Sthula Swarupam, is the physical form that we can all see and enjoy. Like in Kamakshi, in Kanchipuram, Kamakshi Ambal is there. Kamakshi Ambal is nothing but Sri Lalita Parameshwari as described in Lalita Sahasranama. There are several temples where Lalita Parameshwari is installed. Even Prachina temples are there. But only in Kanchipuram, only the Kamakshi Devi is present in that form, is present in the physical form as described in Lalita Sahasranama. That is why the Kanchipuram Kamakshi Devi temple is the first and foremost of Sri Vidya Upasakas. Up until the last shloka, Mandasmita Prabhapura Majjat Kamesha Manasa. Ambal's smile, Mandasmitam, is being explained. Now, Ambal's chin part is going to be explained in shloka number 12. Anakalita sadrushya Shibukashri Virajita. Normally, if we see, poets will use something called as similes to try to explain things that we don't know. Or, for poetical beauty, or in order to accentuate, certain aspects, the poets will use something called as similes. That is what here every shloka has got a simile. Shuddha Vidyankura Dvijapankti Dvayojvala. Ambal's tooth is like that. Ankuram is like that sprouts. So, and then Padmaraga Shiladarsha Paribhavi Kapolabuhu. Ambal's cheek is that shiny stone made up, is like that shiny stone made up of Padmaraga stones. These are similes. If somebody wants to explain the face of the Nayaki, what do? Oh, her face is like moon, as Kulurchi, as Shantikaram, as a moon. That is what normally used, right? That is called as simile in English. In Sanskritam, it is called as upama. In Tamil, the same thing is called as uvamai. Normally, for people like you and I, when Nayaka and Nayaki Bhavam is being explained, for Nayaka, they would say his bhujam is like that mountain. His bhujam is not like that mountain. But for the sake of poetry, they would say, just like how strong that mountain is, this bhujam is also that strong. So people also make that comparison. For all the Nayaki Nayaka Bhava, for all the Vyavaharika thing, normally the thing that is compared, it is going to be higher. It is going to be superior. Like his bhujam. His bhujam is like mountain. Mountain is so big. Mountain cannot even be compared to his bhujam. But in order to make his bhujam very superior, they will compare it to the mountain. Mountain is a big thing. His bhujam is a small thing. But in order to make his bhujam a superior thing, they will compare it to the mountain. That is one type of upama. There is also something called as Hinopama. In fact, all the upamas that comes in Lalita Sahasranamam is Hinopama. That is like telling that mountain is like his bhujam. Mountain cannot be bhujam. Mountain is so small, so big. But I have only seen his bhujam. If I have not seen the mountain, if somebody wants to explain me what is the mountain, then they will say that mountain is like his bhujam. That is called as Hina Upama. So, all the upamas that are being taken, all the similes that are being described in Lalita Sahasranama is like that Hina Upama. Ambal's face is not, Ambal's face is very, very superior when you compare it to Padmaraga stone. But we only have seen Padmaraga stone. We have not seen Ambal's face. That is why here Vagdevis are saying Padmaraga Shiladarasha Paribhavi Kapolapu. We have only seen the sprouts. We have not seen Ambal's teeth. So in order to tell us, they would say Shuddha Vidyankura Dvijapankti Dvayojvala. That is called as Hina Upama. Vastutaha, the thing that is being compared is smaller, but out of no options, the poets use this kind of simile. There is also another type of expression which poets use. I want to compare this to something else, but I just cannot fix my mind on what is the thing I am going to compare it. In Kamba Ramayanam, there is a very beautiful shloka that comes in Aranyakanda. வெய்யோனொளி தன்மேனியின் விரிசோதியின் மறைய பொய்யோ எனும் இடையாளொடும் இளையானொடும் போனான் மையோ மரகதமோ மறிகடலோ மழைமுகிலோ ஐயோ இவன் வடிவென்பதோர் அழியா அழகுடையான். Says Kambar when explaining the scene that Rama, Sita and Lakshmana are going towards the forest. Rama, Sita and Lakshmana, they are going towards the forest. Kamban is trying to explain that, see, how is that Rama? He is explaining, he sees, வெய்யோன் ஒளி தன்மேனியின் விரிசோதியின் மறைய பொய்யோ எனும் இடையாளோடும் இளையானோடும் போனான். Rama is like that. Even though he is black, his body is so lustrous. Even the light of the sun, even sun's light is being masked by the luster of Rama's body. வெய்யோன் ஒளி தன்மேனியின் விரிசோதியின் மறைய பொய்யோ எனும் இடையாளோடும் இளையானோடும் போனான். Rama is going along with Sita and Lakshmana. Now, Kambar wants to explain. He wants to give that simile for how is Rama's body. So in his mind, he is thinking, okay, maybe we should compare it to this. Maybe I should compare it to this. Maybe I should compare it to this. But I cannot compare it with anything. So he say, oh, I cannot, just forget it. It is incomparable. So the second two lines is like that screenshot of the poet's mind. Mayyo, Maragadamo, Marikadalo, Maraimuhilo. He thinks maybe I should compare Rama's body to the Mai. Mai is like that kajal that we apply on our eyes, right? Mayyo, he's as black as Mai. No. Mai is something very, very small. Maybe I will compare it to, I will compare to him as a Maragada stone. Maragada is like the deep green color stone. Maybe I should compare it to the Maragada stone. No, Maragada is also big. Mai is very, very small. You could put it in a small dabba and it is very inexpensive. Okay, maybe I will compare it to the expensive Maragada. Maragada stone, even though it is little bit more expensive than Mai, it is even small. And then he will say, no, I'm going to compare it to an ocean. Ocean, since it is deep black, I'm going to compare it to the ocean. Ocean is so big, right? And then he says, no, ocean also has got an end. If there is no rain, even ocean is going to dry up. And then he will say, Marai Muhilo. So if you see the progression, it is from smaller to the bigger. Mayo, Maragadamo, little bit big. Marikadalo, even bigger. Marai Mugilo, that rain-laden clouds, that clouds which comes when there is going to be a rain, that deep, dark blue clouds. Marai Mugilo. And then even he thinks, Marai Mugil is huge, is even bigger than the Kadal, is bigger than the ocean, because it is what feeds the ocean. But he says, no, Rama's beauty cannot even be compared to Marai Mugil. He says, Ayyo, I don't know what to compare it to. He says, Ayyo, even Madivenbadu, or Ariyaragudayan, all those things, Mai, Maragadam, Marikadal, Marai Mugil, they all have an end. But Rama's beauty does not even have any end, says Kambar in his Kambaramayana. So this is another way of expressing something which cannot be compared. Even if we say in Ramayanam, Valmiki Ramayanam, when Valmiki is trying to explain Rama and Ravana Yuddha, the fight between Rama and Ravana, normally when we say in other poems, they will say, okay, it is like two lions fighting against each other. It is like two clouds that are, colliding against each other. We can all see that kind of simile, but Valmiki cannot come up with anything. So he would say, Rama Ravana yor Yuddham, Rama Ravana yoriva. The Yuddha, the fight between Rama and Ravana, it cannot be compared to anything else. It is just like the fight between Rama and Ravana. He says, so these are the things which poets use if they are incapable of using any such simile. In the same way, the Vagdevis are trying to explain Ambal's chin position. Chibuka means chin. They were looking for any simile that can explain the beauty of Ambal's chin. But as Adi Shankaracharya says in Saundarya Lahari, Kathankaram Brumas Tava Chubukam Aupamya Rahitam. Your Chubuka, your chin cannot even be compared to anything else. In the same way, Vagdevis are saying, Anakalita Sadrushya Chibuka Shri Virajita. Hey Ambal, your Chibukam, your chin portion, it cannot even be compared, even though we are Vagdevis. Vagdevis are the Adhisthana Devata of Vak, speech. But they say, Anakalita Sadrushya Chibuka Shri Virajita. It can never be compared to anything else. This is where all the poetry, all my jnanam breaks down. I thought that I can play with my words trying to explain something to other people, but your chibukam, it cannot be done. It is beyond my comprehension. Yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Just like how Upanishad says when explaining Brahman, it cannot be yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasasaha. It cannot be explained with words. Even if it is explained with words, it cannot be comprehended with others' mind. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasaha. The same sentiment is being explained in Anakalita Sadrushya Chibuka Shri Virajita. Next nama Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandara. Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandara. After cheek, what comes? Ambal's neck is what is going to come, right? So Ambal's neck is being explained here. Ambal's neck has got what? Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra. Ambal's neck has got the Mangalya Sutram that is tied by Kameshwara, that is tied by none other than Parameshwara himself. So, Ambal Chidagnikunda Sambhuta Devakarya Samudyata. Ambal has risen from the Chidagnikunda and Ambal wants to destroy Bandasura in order to do a favor for all the Devas. But in that process, Ambal has to get married because we are born. You have to get married, and only after marriage you can undergo the process of Pattabhishekam, and only after you have done Pattabhishekam you can go for war with other kings. That is how the rule was in those days. So marriage is very, very essential in order to do anything. You know, Mahapereva often quotes this Tirukural in his Daivathin Kural. You know, in that Kural, Thiruvalluvar says, only an illaram, only a person who is in illaram, only a person who is a grihastha can support all the three ashramas. There are 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Only the person who is in Grihastha ashrama can support all the 3 persons in all the 3 other ashramas. We will see what is Varna, what is Ashrama in other name. Varnashrama Vidayini. In that nama, we will see the Varnashrama system, but no up to this. So, being married is a very important basic qualification in our Sanatana Dharma. Nowadays, marriage has become a social function, but marriage is not a social function. Mahapereva often repeats that in his Daivathin Kural. Marriage, Kalyanam, it is a samskara, it is a Vaidika samskara that has to be performed with religious fervor. It is not a social function where you can show off your money, but it is like a puja that has to be done. Whatever our mentality while doing puja, the same mentality we should have while doing the marriage. You know, if we see the marriage mantras, they all will tell you what is the thing behind the marriage. And in marriage, the Tirumangalya Dharanam is a very important it is a very important stage in marriage, Tirumangalya Dharanam. What happens during Tirumangalya Dharanam, if we see, we have something called as Mangalyam or Mangala Sutra. And in Mangala Sutra, if we observe the marriage ceremonies properly, what happens is that Mahalakshmi will be done Avahanam in that Mangala Sutra. In that Tirumangalyam, they do Avahanam of Mahalakshmi. You know, they will chant Shri Suktam, they will do Avahanam of Mahalakshmi, they will also do an Archana for Mahalakshmi in that Tirumangalyam. Normally, what do we do when we are doing puja? After puja is done, we will say Yathastanam Pradishtapayami Lokakshemarte Punaragamanaya cha. If we are doing, Pulyar Chaturthi is going to come in 2 weeks, in 2 months, that is what we will do. We will do puja and then we will say, we will put some akshada and then we will say, hey Ganesha, please go away, come next year. That is what we will say, right? But while marriage, when marriage is happening, when they do Avahanam of Mahalakshmi in the Tirumangalyam, they do not do Visarjanam of Mahalakshmi from Tirumangalyam. Mahalakshmi gets to stay in that Tirumangalyam. So that Tirumangalyam, the Varan, that guy will tie on to the bride's neck. So Tirumangalyam is very, very important. It should not be taken off. That is what we see. We see a lot of things which is completely against our Sanatana Dharma. At least wear Tirumangalyam. If you can, wear it in that sutra, wear it in that manjal kair is very, very important, because here Ambal herself is wearing Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandhara. Sutra is not chain. Sutra is that kair. Sutra is that thread onto which the Mangalyam is tied. Ambal is wearing lot of other Abharanams with gold, silver, with lot of precious stones, etc. Even Ambal is wearing her Tirumangalyam on the Mangalya Sarad. Kamesha Baddha Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kandara. Now that marriage is done, she has to go to war, right? So Kanakangada Keyura Kamaniya Bhujanvita. Ambal is wearing all those all those armor which is made up of gold, so that she can go to war with Bandasura. Kanakangada Keyura Kamaniya Bhujanvita. She has got her bhuja, her shoulders adorned with all those armor. Kanakangada Keyura Kamaniya Bhujanvita. Ratanagraiveya Chintaka Lola Mukta Phalanvita. It is a beautiful namam in Lalita Sahasranam. All the namas are beautiful. This nama is exceptionally beautiful. When we are trying to see the meanings for Lalita Sahasranamam, the namas can be interpreted at least in 3 different ways. There are many ways with which the namas can be interpreted, but at least 3 different ways are possible. The first type of meaning is called as the contextual meaning in Lalita Sahasranam. Lalita Sahasranamam is so unique that all the namas are arranged under a theme. Right now the theme is the Sthula Swarupam of Ambal. Next theme is going to be Ambal's Vasippidam. After that, it is going to be Bandasura Vada. It is like, that malai that we wear, same flowers, similar flowers are tied in the similar region. It is not like that chaotic mala, but it is like a beautifully made mala, nicely thought through made mala, that similar flowers are tied in the similar region. So that type of meaning, like what is the meaning in that context? So that type of meaning is the first type of interpretation, contextual meaning. The second type of meaning is an independent meaning. I don't know. I am going to take this out of context. I don't care what is the previous nama. I don't care what is the next nama. I only take the nama at hand and then I try to explain that nama. So that is an independent meaning. The third type of meaning is mantrartha, that we have seen in the last class itself. Each nama has got a mantra. It can be a bijakshara or it can be a full-fledged mantra that is hidden inside the nama. That is called as mantrartha. If we see this nama, Ratnagraiveya Chintaka Lola Mukta Phalanvita. The contextual meaning is that, what is the context here? Ambal's Sthula Swarupam is being explained. Ambal's up to Ambal's chin, Ambal's throat are being explained. So Ratna Graiveya Chintaka Lola Mukta Phalanvita. So this Nama should explain something in Ambal's chest region, right? So what is there? Ambal is wearing an Abharana that is bedecked with Ratna Lola Mukta Phalanvita. That is bedecked with all the ratnas, all the beautiful gems are there, and onto which all those muttumalais are, all those pearls are being attached, embellished with all those pearls and all those ratna. And this thing, it is moving here and there. Just like how a fruit moves in a tree, this muttumale, this mala in Ambal's neck is moving here and there as and when Ambals move. That is the contextual meaning. Ratna Graiveya Chintaka Lola Mukta Phalanvita. Graiveya, Griva means throat. That is why Parameshwara is called as Neela Griva, because his throat is blue. That is why Hayagriva is called as Hayagriva. Haya means horse, Griva means throat. That is why Hayagriva is called as Hayagriva. So here, Ratna Graiveya Chintaka. Ambal's throat is having that type of beautiful ornaments that is embellished with ratnas and pearls. That is the contextual meaning. But it also has got another meaning which we can only know by studying bhashyams of Mahans like Bhaskara Raya. Bhaskara Raya interprets this Namam as such. There are three different bhaktas for Ambal: Adama Bhakta, Manda Bhakta, and Uttama Bhakta. Adama Bhakta, Madhyama Bhakta, and Uttama Bhakta. Who is Adama Bhakta? Adama Bhakta is like that person whose mind will not stay in one position but will always be moving. Right now, I do puja of Ambal. Say Parvati, I do Gauri Vratam. And then somebody after a month will come and say, hey, do Hanuman Puja, you will be very successful. If I do Hanuman Puja along with Gauri Puja, that is fine. But what I will do, I will not do Gauri Puja, and for the next month, I will be doing Hanuman Puja, Hanuman. And then after a month, somebody will say, hey, do Pratyangara Upasana. When I do Pratyangira Upasana for every Amavasa, I will not do Gauri Puja, I will not do Hanuman, I will be doing Pratyangire. After that, I will move on to Bhairava. After that, I will move on to Sarabeshwara. After that, I will move on to Krishna, Narasimha, Mahalakshmi. I will not even stay in one god. In Bhagavad Gita terms, it is called as Vyabhicharini Bhakti. That kind of bhakta is called as Lola. Lola is the one who moves here and there. Achanchala, he is a rolling stone. He will gain no mass. So that is called as Lola. He is the Adama Bhakta. The second type of bhakta is a show-off bhakta. What do you mean by show-off bhakta? He will keep on chanting Rama, 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 Rama. He will keep on speaking about Ambal just for the sake of others, but inside his heart, he does not have any bhakti. Those people are called as Graiveya Chintakas. Graiveya means Griva means throat. Graiveya Chintas meaning people who think about Ambal only with their throat. Meaning what? Normally I think with my mind, with my brain, right? So if I think with my mind, if I think Ambal with my brain, then that is called as dhyana. But this person will only speak about things, but vastutaha, he himself does not have any bhakti. So that bhakta, that type of bhakta is called as Graiveya Chintaka, throat thinkers. If you want to literally translate, it is called as throat thinkers, Graiveya Chintaka. And then there is Uttama Bhakta, who is a Mukta. It is like Jnani Bhakta that is told in Bhagavad Gita. He knows that Ambal and he, there is no Vedam. Arunam Karuna Tarangitakshim, Dritapashankusha Pushpabana Chabam, Animadibhiravritam Mayukaihi, Aham Yityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. So this type of bhakta is like that bhakta aham iti eva vibhavaye. Jnani bhakta, mukta bhakta. So there are three types of bhaktas. Normally, what do we think? If I were God, what do? I will give lot of palans to mukta and then I will not give any palan to all the other people. Because one person does not have belief in me. He is moving here and there. The other person only show off, he is not doing anything else. But what does Ambal do? Ambal is giving appropriate phalams to the appropriate people. Ratnagraiveya chintaka lola mukta phalanvita. Ambal gives phalan to all the type of bhakta. How much your bhakti is there, you will receive that type of phalan. Ambal is like that. That falls, that waterfalls. If I go to waterfalls with a small tumbler, I will be coming out with 50 ml of water. If I go to waterfalls with a jug, I will come out with a jug full of water. If I go to waterfall with a big anda, I will come out with water, an anda full of water. It does not matter. Ambal does not discriminate between what bhakta you are. You choose to receive that much amount of phalam from Ambal depending upon your bhakti. Ambal is like that waterfalls. If your mind is as small as a tumbler, you will only get tumbler full of phalam. If your mind is as big as an anda, you will get an anda full of phalam or water. Ratnagraiveya chintaka lola mukta phalanvita. Beautiful namam, worth doing meditation upon. The next nama, Kameshwara Premaratna Mani Pratipanastani. Ambal Parameshwara. Normally, what do we do for our marriage anniversary and all? We gift, right? The husband will gift something to the wife, right? The same way Kameshwara has given his gift. He has made, he has grossified his love for Ambal into a Ratnam. He has made all his love for Ambal into his Ratnam, and Ambal is wearing that Ratnam on her Vakshasthalam. Kameshwara Premaratna Mani Pratipanastani. Ambal has given her Sthanam, Ambal has given her Vakshasthalam for the love, for the Ratnam that is made of Kameshwara's love, and Ambal has given her Sthanam to that Ratnam. Kameshwara Premaratna Mani Pratipanastani Nabhyalavala Romali Lataphala Kuchadvayi. Ambal's Kucha Bhagam is there, Vakshasthalam is there, and there is a small stream of hair that comes from her Nabhisthana. From her belly button, there is a small stream, just one row of hair that goes above her Nabhisthana to her Vakshasthalam. That looks like a creeper with two fruits. Ambal's Thanabhagam Vakshasthalam is like that fruit, and that small stream of hair is like that creeper onto which these two fruits are the phalam. Says Nabhyalavala Romali Lataphala Kuchadvayi Laksharoma Latadhara Tasamunneya Madhyama. So this is again a poetic expression. You can also say with the Chamundrika Lakshanam, there is a Lakshanam called as Chamundrika Lakshanam. For the Uttama Stri, they will look like this. They will all, categorize. Deva Stris will look like this. Manushya Stris will look like this. So they will all categorize. So the Chamundrika Lakshanam says that your stomach should be so small. For Deva Stris, their stomach, that Madhyama Bhaga will be so small. But there is also a very good bhavartha for this. What does it say? It says that if we see the stomach, if we see the role of Vakshasthala and stomach, they have an opposite role. Vakshasthala is completely unselfish, selfless, because only with the Vakshasthala, without gaining anything in return, the mother feeds her baby. The mother converts her own blood into milk and she gives selflessly to the baby. So that is the role of Vakshasthala. But what happens in the belly, whatever food that we eat gets stored in the belly. So it is completely selfish. Not only the food that we eat stored in the belly, our belly will also store food for the future use. Our belly is the hoarder. It hoards all the energy as fat. So if you have a fat belly, not like the people I'm saying, the Bhava Artha is that, if somebody is said to be so fat, the Bhava Artha is that they are very selfish. Kubera, he's so fat because he's a hoarder. He hoards everything, right? So that is what, philosophically it is explained, because they need a way to put their words into, sculptures, etc., right? So they would say, so somebody who has a big belly means they are hoarders. Somebody whose Vakshasthalam is big means they act very, very selflessly. What is happening here? Laksharoma latadhara tasamunneya madhyama. Ambal's Madhyama Bhaga is so small, so slender, because she is selfless. She does not have anything for herself, but her Vakshasthala is bigger because we all are her children, and she has to nourish all of us. Laksharoma latadhara tasamunneya madhyama stanabara dalanmatya pattabandha valitraya. Because of her bara, because of her stana bhara, she has got 3 folds in her stomach, it seems. For Uttama Stris, they say there are 3 regions where 3 folds should be there. In her forehead, for the Uttama Stris, for Deva Stris, their forehead will have 3 folds. Normally when we, when we do our forehead, there will be fold, right? For Deva Stris, there will be 3 folds in her forehead. For Deva Stris, there are going to be 3 lines on the neck. Her neck will also have 3 lines. It is not being explained in Lalita Sahasranama, but in Saundarya Lahari, Acharya explains, Gale rekas tisraha gati gamaka gitai kanipune vivahavyanadha praguna guna sankhya pratibhuvaha virajante नानाविध मधुर रागाकर भुवां त्रयाणां ग्रामाणां स्थिति नियम सीमान इवते. Ambal's throat also has got 3 lines. Gale rekas tisraha gati gamaka gita ika nipunaha. These 3 lines, they represent gati, gamaka and gita. Ragam, talam and gamaka in classical music, says Acharya in his Saundarya Lahari. So that are 2, right? One is forehead, another is throat, and also in the Madhyama Bhaga, there has to be 3 lines. There has to be 3 folds for the Devastris, and Ambal has got 3 folds in her Madhyama Bhaga. Stanabhara Dalanmatya Pattabandha Valitraya. And next, Aruna Aruna Kausumbha Vastrabhasvat Kati Tati. There is everything red with Ambal. Ambal, even the vastram that Ambal wears is also red in color. Aruna Kausumbha Vastrabhasvat Kati Tati. In her Kati Desha, Ambal is wearing that red color vastra. Ratna Kinkinikaram Yarashana Dama Bhushita. Rashana Dama Bhushita. Ambal is wearing a mekhala. Ambal is wearing a kanchi. Kanchi means mekhala, uddiyanam, etc., etc., etc. That has got small kinkini, that has got money attached to it. Ratna kinkini karamya rashanadama bhushita. And how is that the sound that comes from this kinkini? The sound that comes from the kinkini removes the fear of all the devas, because devas are so fearful of Bandasura. And Ambal with her kinkini, and there is going to be another nama for Ambal's Golusu. For Ambal's Kanchukam, it is going to come. All the noise that is being made with this Uddiyanam and her Golusu, that dispel the fear of all the devas. Ratna kinkini karam yarashanadama bhushita kameshagyada saubhagyam ardavoru dvayanvita. Again, Ambal's Uru Bhaga, Ambal's thigh part, nobody can explain in detail. Only Kameshwara can know Ambal's, the beauty of Ambal's Uru Bhaga. Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardavuru Dvayanvita Manikya Mukutakara Janudvaya Virajita. Ambal is going to fight, right? Ambal is going to go for Yuddham. And when you want to go for Yuddham, all of your parts has to be so strong, including all the joints. You know, I cannot go to Yuddham and then say, hey, I have arthritis, I cannot run faster. No, even to kill other, you have to run faster, right? So Ambal's that Manikya Mukutakara Janudvaya Virajita. Ambal's Janu means that kneecap. That kneecap is so strong as a Manikya stone. Manikya stone is very strong. Ambal's kneecap is as reddish, as strong as that Manikya skull. Manikya Mukutakara Janudvaya Virajita. Indragopa Parikshipta Smaraduna Bhajangika. Indragopa Parikshipta Smaratuna Bhajangika. Ambal's Jangadesha is like that calf muscle. It is like that Amburatuni. What is Amburatuni? We have seen in the, in the Tamil serial Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. They will have bow and arrow, right? And then they will have a quiver to hold all the arrows. They will have quiver. Quiver means, like a bag which holds all the arrows. Normally, if you see Ramayana, Rama will have that on his shoulder, on the back, on his back. Rama, Lakshmana will have all those things on his back. Arjuna will have all those things, the quiver on his back, right? So, Ambal's calf muscle is like that quiver. Indragopa Parikshipta Smaraduna Bhajangika. That quiver of Manmatha. It is so beautiful that it is compared to the quiver of Manmatha. Indragopa Parikshipta Smaraduna Bhajangika Gudagulpa Kurma Prishta Jayishnu Prabhadanvita. Gudagulpa is one nama. Kurma Prishta Jayishnu Prabhadanvita is another nama. Gudagulpa. Ambal's Kudikal is so nice and strong because it has to hold Ambal herself, right? In our Sanatana Dharma, Padam is given very, very important because it is which holds the body. It is which it has to be strong. If a Padam is not strong, then the whole person will fall, right? Ambal is the embodiment of that entire universe. Ambal's Padam has to be stronger than Ambal in order to support Ambal. Kurma Prishta Kudagulpa, Kurma Prishta Jayishnu Prabhadanvita. And Ambal's Purangal, it is like as strong or even more stronger than Kurma Prishta. Kurma means a tortoise. Kurma Prishta, the back of the tortoise. The hood of the tortoise. It is very, very strong. We are not talking about the normal tortoise. Even normal tortoise hood is very, very strong. But here we are talking about the cosmic tortoise, the Kurma Avatara, which holds the entire universe on its back. The Kurma Avatara, they say, normally we think of Kurma Avatara when doing Amrita Mathanam. Bhagavan Vishnu has taken this Kurma Avatara and then he is holding that Mandara mountain on his back. That is the first Kurma Avatara we know. But what do they say is that the entire universe is also held on its back by this Kurma Avatara, Kurmasanam, etc., etc., they will say. But Ambal's legs are even stronger than Kurma Avatara because Ambal, what is the entire universe? Taniyam sampam sum tavacharana pankeruha bhavam virinchis sanchinvan virachayati lokan avikalam vahatyenam saurik kathamapi sahasrena sirasam haras samkshuddhenam bhajati basitodhulana vidam. Ambal's pada duli. Pada duli is the dust in Ambal's feet. Brahma is taking that one dust and then he creates the entire universe. Mahavishnu holds that one dust on his Varaha Murti, as his Varaha Avatara, he is supporting that one dust. And Parameshwara destroying that one dust, that one particle, and then he applies that ashes all over his body. So when we say Kurma Avatara supports the entire universe, that is equivalent to one dust in Ambal's feet. So Ambal has to have even more, even more strength than Kurma Avatara. So that is why it says Kurma Prishtha Jayishnu Prabhadanvita. The next nama, Nakhadititi Sanchanna Namajjana Tamoguna. Nakhadititi Sanchanna Namajjana Tamoguna. Ambal's nail, while doing the Kesha, the Pada Varnana, now we are at the Pada stage. In our nail, in our toes, there is going to be nail, right? Normally, nails are something which are being looked down. We say nail is kind of in between Chetana Vastu and Achetana Vastu. Our body is said to be Chetana Vastu, but nail, hair, etc., they are Achetana Vastu. Only when they are in our body, they will have some respect. Even when they are in the body, our hair, even if it is connected to our body, it should not fall on the foot. It should not fall on the puja patra. They say even you cannot, pluck flowers with your nail. Even if your nail is attached to your hand, we cannot pluck it, they say. So it is kind of rendungata. But Ambal's nail is capable of removing nakha. Ambal's nail is capable of removing the ajnana, the tamoguna in people's heart, in people's mind. Namajjana tamoguna. Whoever does namaskara to Ambal, Ambal's nails, that jnanam that flows from Ambal's nails, that brilliance that flows from Ambal's nails removes the tamoguna tamoguna of Ambal's worshippers. Nakajhititi sanchanna namajjana tamoguna. Padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. Ambal's leg is compared to tamara, is compared to a lotus flower. But then the Vagdevi says, hey, lotus flower, they are not as brilliant as Ambal's feet. Padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha. Saroruha means lotus. Ambal's padadvayam, because of their jalam, because of their brightness, because of their brilliance, they even win over the saroruha, that is the lotus flower. Padadvaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha sinjana manimanjira mandita shri padambuja. Ambal is wearing that golusu in her leg. Sinjana mani manjira mandita shri pada ambuja. Ambal's leg is ambuja, pada padmam, and Ambal's leg has got that nice golusu, nice anklets, and that anklet is making small noises. Sinjana manimanjira mandita shri padambuja. In fact, there is a beautiful shloka. I think it comes in Saundarya Lahari. Yeah, it comes in Saundarya Lahari. Kili kilita rishana ripuna. What happens is that Ahacharyal is explaining a private moment between Kameshwara and Kameshwari, Ambal and Parameshwara. What does he say is that Ambal, because of their Shringara, Ambal is putting her leg over Kameshwara, it seems, on his head, because Kameshwara is the first and foremost Ambal Bhakta. So he puts her feet over Ambal's head. And what happens is that, that small money in Ambal's golusu, it starts to make noise. Normally, when people move their leg, people who has golusu, they know when they move their leg, it is going to make some noise, right? Because, it is attached with that small money, so it starts making noise. What Adi Shankara, what he says is that money is nothing but Manmatha. That money is nothing but Manmatha. Manmatha is sitting on Ambal's anklet. And whenever Ambal put her legs over Kameshwara's head, what happened? Manmatha remembers, okay, it is this Kameshwara who burnt me. It is this Parameshwara who burnt me. And now, what did Ambal do? Ambal is putting herself over Kameshwara. mrisha krutva gotra skalanamatha vailakshyanamitam lalate bhartaram charana kamale tadayatite. Ambal's charana kamalam is present in bhartaram. Bhartaram is Kameshwara, is present in Kameshwara's forehead. Lalate bhartaram charana kamale tadayatite chirananda shalyam dahana kritam unmulitavata tulakotikvanaihi kilikilitam ishana ripuna. Ishana ripuna. Ishana ripu is Manmatha. Ishana is Parameshwara. Parameshwara's ripu means enemy. Parameshwara's enemy is Manmatha, and Manmatha is present in Ambal Sinjana Manimanjira Mandita. Ambal, Manmatha is present in that small bells that is present in Ambal's anklet, and whenever Ambal puts her anklet in Parameshwara's forehead, just like how the anklets normally makes noise, Manmatha is laughing at Parameshwara. Hey Parameshwara, you are the one who burnt me, but now see what happens. See my mother, what is she capable of? Tula kotik vanehi kili kilitam ishana ripuna sinjana manimanjira mandita shri padambuja marali mandagamana mahalavanya shevatihi. These are the other two namas. Marali mandagamana. Marali Mandagamana means Mandagamana, slowly walking. Ambal's walk is like that gate. Ambal's gate is as beautiful as a Hamsa Pakshi. Normally, Hamsa Pakshi is compared to have, it is supposed to have beautiful gate, but Ambal's gate is even more beautiful. It is so royal, it is so sway that Marali Mandagamana, it is even more beautiful than the Annapakshi. Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Shevadihi. Mahalavanya Shevadihi. Ambal is like that treasure house of all the beauty. That is why Saundarya Lahari is called as Saundarya. What is Saundarya? Saundarya means beautiful. Lahari means waves. Just like in an ocean, waves does not have any end. Waves going to be always there, right? So Ambal is like that waves of beauty. Mahalavanya Shevadihi. Sarvaruna Anavadhyangi Sarvabharana Bhushita. Sarvaruna Anavadhyangi Sarvabharana Bhushita. Sarva Aruna. Everything is red according to Ambal. For Ambal, everything is red. Even her own body is Sindurarana Vigraham Trinayanam Udikindra Sengadir Uchittilagam Unar Udayor Madikindra Manikam Unar Udayor Madikindra Manikam Madulambod Malar Kamalai. Everything is red regarding to Ambal. In the same way, Sarvaruna, even her dress is red. Aruna Aruna Kausumba. Even her dress is red. That is why Ambal is called as Sarva Aruna. Previously, we have seen Sarva Aruna means Aruna Kachidaruna. Aruna, that red color, that bright red color, it signifies Karuna of Ambal. That is why Sarva Aruna. Everything Ambal is filled with Karuna. That is why Sarva Aruna. Anavadhyangi. What is Anavadhyangi? Means normally people whose face are so beautiful, maybe their nose is not good. If their hands are very good, their teeth will be misaligned. If their feet is very good, their ears will not have as much beauty. It is very, very common. If one aspect is good, the other aspect will be bad. But Ambal is Anavadhyangi. There is no kutram, there is no defect in Ambal's Thura Sharira. Everything is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All we have to do is just to close our eyes and meditate upon Ambal's Thula Shariram. If we do meditation upon Ambal's Thula Shariram, everything is beauty, beauty, beauty. Anavadhyangi Sarva Bharana Bhushita. Ambal is wearing all the Abharanam, not because the Abharanam gives her beauty, but it is because she lends her beauty to all the Abharanam. Normally, if we decorate ourselves with the Abharanam will give us beauty. But for Ambal gives beauty to Abharanam. Sometimes they say Abharanam is such a disturbance to enjoy Ambal's beauty. They also say that Sarvabharana Bhushita, Shivakameshwarankasta, Shiva, Swadhina Vallabha. These three namas we will see from the next class. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. I have one announcement to make. So Adi Masam is going to come. Ashada Navaratri is also going to come. So Ashada Navaratri is that Navaratri that comes, during the Ashada Masa. So we have planned, we are blessed to have some events planned. If people want, they can join. So the first event is that on all the days of Ashada Navaratri falls from 9th July, Saturday, to 18th July, Sunday for USA. 9th July is Amavasya. I think even for India, it is the same. This Navaratri is also called as Varahi Navaratri. We plan to chant Durga Saptashati daily, starting from 6:30 a.m. EST. Remember, it is 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over Zoom. Complete recitation will take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Whoever wants to join, they can join. Zoom link is just the same Zoom link for all the events. It is same as what we currently use. And then for Adi Masam itself is very auspicious for Ambal. Previously, what we did in Thai Masam was that we did Lalita Sahasranama Archanai on all the Thai Vellikkilamai. On all the Thai Fridays, we did Lalita Sahasranamam Archanai. In the same way, we will do Lalita Sahasranama Archana for Ambal on all the 5 Fridays for Adi month. The dates are July 6, 23, 30 and August 6 and 13. July 6th is also Adi Masa Parappu, and then there is also Adi Paurnami that comes, I think 23 or 30. Adi Paurnami is also there. So who all wants to join, they can join over Zoom. The Sahasranama Archana will start at 6:30 p.m. EST. Ashada Navaratri Devi Mahatmya Parayanam is 6:30 a.m. EST. Adi month Sahasranama Archana is 6:30 p.m. EST. It will take about 45 minutes to 1 hour. You can also join over Zoom, and then you can have a lamp in your home and then do Archana for Ambal as well. So whoever wants to join, they can join. Archana can be performed with flowers, akshata, kumkumam, etc. Also, please arrange to do some nevedyam, like, cooked milk or payasam at the end of the Archana if you wish to join. Or even, you can do Archana on your own itself. It does not matter. If you want to join, you can join. And Varalakshmi Vratam this year falls on August 20th. So it is the next Friday. August 13th is the last Friday of Adi Masam. August 20th is Varalakshmi Vratam. We will do Lakshmi Sahasranama Archanai starting 6:30 p.m. EST. So on Varalakshmi Vratam, we will do Mahalakshmi Sahasranama Archanai 6:30 p.m. EST. It will take about 45 minutes to 1 hour. This year, unfortunately, because of all the pandemic things, many families don't have Varalakshmi Vratam because of these unfortunate events happened in the last year within their family. They also can join. They need not perform the Vratam, but we can do Archana for Ambal and then get Ambal's benefits. Everything happens over Zoom, so the time is there. We have shared, all this information is shared on the website as well. So please go to the website. If you are interested, no need to sign up or do anything. Just join over Zoom and then get Ambal's benefits. This we will finish today's class. Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.